All right, so this is me going back to my old format of content whereby I share with you some of the Indian expat problems that people have when they move to Dubai. So I've taken five for this video, and if you have any such issues, incidents, or you know of any such stories, do share it. But my only request is keep it real. Don't just simply conjure up fake stories or fake narratives. These are people that I actually interacted, so I'm sharing five with you. And the hope is you do not repeat the mistakes that these five Indian expats made after going to Dubai. So, in no particular order, the first one is this expat will not share the personal private details, just keep it vague in terms of the identity. So, this expat joined this company at a pretty attractive salary and resigned from his previous job, got the job, and after that, the probationary period that was there, it seems that whatever the salary was agreed upon, finally the management had a meeting with him and told him that they're not happy with his performance. And now they are giving him a revised salary, which was lesser than before, around 25%, okay, from the amount that was actually given. And he was pretty, obviously pretty disappointed about this. And he reached out to me, and he was more like, "What do I do? How do I go about this?" So then obviously, see, the thing which I normally have experienced over the period of time, if there are two people who have a problem, the person who is sharing the problem always positions themselves as the victim, as the good guy, and the other person as a bad guy, and vice versa. You go to the other person portrays themselves as a good guy, and this guy as a bad guy. So he shared with me his story that, this is what they agreed to give me, and they didn't finally give me. So I let him know that there are a series of possibilities that could have happened. Number one is maybe overpromised and under-delivered, which is the classic case where you overhype and overmarket yourself as God's gift to mankind. Brag about your stuff on the CV and say that you can achieve the sun, moon, and stars. But when they actually see your performance in real time, they realize, no, you are bluffing. You stated you could do this much, but you actually delivered this much. So obviously, they are not going to, they are definitely going to revise, because end of the day, it's give and take. If you are promising X and you deliver this, then they'll revise the offer. That is number one. Number two can be, let's say you are a good guy and you're delivering what you promise, but the management is not honoring. There are only two reasons for this. Number one is they know that you will not do anything and you can't do anything. And that is why they're getting away with it. Means they are the bad guys, they are cunning. And this generally happens with the companies that have a management, sad to say, but sometimes it's Indian management, or the owner is pretty manipulative and he knows the law, which he knows that you don't, or he knows that you don't have resources. Okay. And he knows that you will not do anything. So that is why he's getting away with it. So two possibilities. Number one is where you're at fault. Number two is where the management is at fault. So overall, I told him, say, listen, you can't force the management to give you a higher salary. So you might as well look out for another job and move on, because that's the only solution you have. And I did tell him that at least you're getting a salary. So I know that's not much of a consolation, but better than getting some salary than nothing. Okay. The second one was this Indian expat, had the interview online, and legit company, everything was confirmed. Lucky for him, it was not a scammer. And the salary that was agreed was a salary, a transportation, and accommodation. Okay. He didn't have a license. So after reaching there, obviously he was very happy with the company, and he was happy with the job. He was happy with the salary. But what he was not happy with was the accommodation, because In his mind, apparently, he had that he would get an exclusive flat for himself. He had grandiose visions that it would be a private apartment or certain standard that he was expecting. He didn't think it would be sharing accommodation. I don't know how that part skipped. Like, company provided accommodation. Maybe they used that term. So he assumed that he would get a separate apartment. So it turned out to be sharing accommodation, not company provided. And it was not like a labor class, this thing, but the people he was sharing with, he didn't like it because they were office colleagues of his. And it seems they were very unhygienic. Some were very dirty. Some were very disgusting in their behavior. So he was very disappointed with this. And he especially didn't like the part, their toilets, he didn't like the kitchen. So it seems he had a massive problem there. And I just told him that, okay, the only solution that you can have is tell them to give you the money instead of the accommodation, which he did try, but then he realized that they're paying too less and the similar accommodation would be more expensive, and having a private accommodation would literally eat up 50% of his salary. So he decided to continue. Okay. And I just told him that work until the duration of the contract that you've signed, just bite the bullet and eventually make the change. And next time, read the fine print and also make sure that you visit the accommodation facilities. And so you'll be sure whether you like it or you don't. So sometimes you learn through the school of hard knocks. Number 3 is this one was not a very nice experience. The expat moved to Dubai once again. Moved to Dubai, applied for a job, finally got a job. He thought everything was happy paradise. Salary was not spectacular. Sadly, he, after joining, with the salary, whatever, he realized he was not getting along with the boss because the boss was very rude, put a lot of pressure. He didn't like the environment. He didn't like the culture. And lo and behold, he wanted to resign. But then, because this company was not, let's say, a large-scale company, they said they wanted refunds they wanted to be reimbursed for the visa and other expenses that they paid for him, and which he was not ready to. And because they had the passport, they were not willing to let him go. He did call me up and say that he, wanted to take them legally. I told him, you don't have the financial muscle, nor do you have the resources. I told him to approach the embassy or the consulate so that they could get his passport out. So they would guide him. So what happened next, he didn't tell me, but he did mention that he went to the embassy. And I think this problem got sorted out because the embassy or the consulate contacted the company, because you're not allowed to keep government documents. It belongs to the government. So I guess his problem got solved because he never got in touch with me after that. Okay. Number 4 is this one is also a cautionary tale for those of you who are looking for jobs and you overhype yourself as God's gift to mankind, and then you end up on the bad end of the deal. This guy joined at the probationary period, completed the probationary period, and to his shock, after he resigned from his job, after he told his family that he's moving abroad, after he took all his stuff, his wife, his kid, and everything else to Dubai, he was told after the probation period, I'm sorry, we are not happy with your service. We don't want to take it further. So here's your passport, here's everything else. Here's the money that we owe you. All the best. And he was left in a limbo because he took a new apartment. He put his child to school. Wife got settled down. She also resigned from a job. And now they are in no man's land. So it's not recommended that you take such hardcore decisions when you're not confirmed. Remember, during the probationary period, if they're not happy, they can ask you to leave. And also another problem is, even if you are confirmed, okay, you just do not know what can happen next. Maybe the company will say the project got cancelled and all that. So there are a lot of variables. So unless and until you are very sure, do not take such a decision whereby it can affect your children and your spouse. Last, if not the least, the final example that actually happened is this guy was unfortunate. He was more into the creative side of being a designer, being, website guy and all that. He joined this company because it seems he was from South India. The person is also from South India. And based on that, he felt a little comfortable. And he didn't sign the contract. He was not on their, what do you say, work visa. And he worked for 3 months. But then after that, when he wanted the money, the owner refused to give him the money. And, obviously, because he's from his own village, he threatened him that I'll take you to court and all that. He said, okay, fine, go ahead. And, well, he did consult me. I asked him, do you have anything in writing? He said, he doesn't have anything in writing. And then I asked him, whose visa are you on? He said he is on his own visa. So I told him, then you're legally doing illegal stuff. And maybe you can take the owner to court, but then they'll ask you proof. And if you can't provide proof, then you're in trouble. On top of that, you're working when you're not supposed to work on another, like tourist visa or some other visa he had. I told him, you have dug your own grave. You might as well just, shorten your losses and cut your losses and just tell yourself that you learned a lesson. And then he was more like, I'll teach him when he comes back home in the village and all that, from his country. I said, that all forget. You just came there to earn money. You have also made a mistake. Learn to admit it. And yes, it's unfair what he did, that he's not paying you. But there's very little you can do. And he was tempted to maybe put a bad review of his company online. I said, don't do all that. He can take you to court and sue you or put a case on you. So overall, another bad experience. So these are 5 bad experiences of Indian expats in the UAE. I hope you learned something from this. And if you do know of any such stories or real incidents, please don't conjure up fake narratives, or it has happened to you. You can send it to me confidentially. I have another, couple of such stories, but I didn't want the video to drag too long. And feel free. If you have any issues, problems, anything, you can send me. If I know, I'll guide you. If I don't know, I'll tell you who's the right person. And if I don't know any of these, then I'll tell you I do. All right. Goodbye. Leave. Please feel free. Comment down below. This is me signing off. You guys take care.